So, 1918. Yeah, I did actually play this, but stupidly enough, I forgot to well, I didn't forget to record. I just misclicked and did not end up actually recording audio. So I decided that instead of replaying it, I would just narrate this video. Not the entire way, you know, I'm gonna cut it down, but I'm gonna give you sort of the history of it, of what happened in this war. I played on hard because it's, as you can see, it's not as difficult of a map as I had before. You know, it's not like I'm not on an island. I was playing Radoja, so you know, I start out with a city right next to me. But of course, it does mean that the guys in the west, sorry, the guys in the east are allied, and that made things pretty difficult. So, let's get started. The Radosian plan is to flank Violet Nam by going through Valencia and Cluj-Napoca as quickly as possible. Radoja takes Houston as well, but eventually gives up on it. The Violet Namese general pushes north, right up to the walls of Luxembourg, but it doesn't matter because a Radosian artillery brigade sits just outside Saragossa. On the 122nd day of the war, I'm converting turns into days here for, you know, for the story. On the 122nd day of the war, the Radosian Field Marshal Maus captures Saragossa, and the Violet Namese join in the war under the red flag as the Eastern Allies bear down on them. The Radosians attempt to flank the Allies from Valencia, but fail and lose Ostrava. So, Maus switches tactics and puts everything into the defense of the north. The Allies have superior morale because they both have vast holdings and each has a friend in the other, a friend, that isn't forced into conscription by the imperial government. Plus, Greenland's capital is New York, so they're always singing show tunes. To raise morale, Radoja launches the Get Involved campaign of propaganda and begins to push the Allies back with any and every conveniently located unit. A front emerges. On one side, the well-rested, happy Bulgarians and Greenlanders who come from a beautiful land of farms and cities that have never seen war. On the other, a horde of Radosians and Violet Namese, who come from a land where every farm, pasture, and forest is brimming with undetonated mines, and everyone is half deaf from the ceaseless sounds of explosions. The Allies have morale and maneuverability, but we have manpower. The front has been quiet for some time. Out of boredom, the Greenlanders construct an ark. After Leeds is taken, a new propaganda campaign begins. Leeds would want it! Maus hopes that the taking of Leeds will be the start of a series of successes which will cause a snowballing morale effect. However, the Allies are still in incredibly high spirits, and after only one successful advance, the push falters. A small unit under Captain Cumin wanders into range of Radosian artillery, and after Captain Cumin is defeated, the whole area blows up. Finally, a series of victories gets the Red Army's morale to start snowballing, and over a year after the war has begun, the front pushes forward. The last remnants of the Greenlanders are far behind enemy lines, but still in good spirits, singing show tunes. Eventually they take Ostrava, but the city is quickly recaptured, and focus shifts to Leeds. Leeds is taken, and switches hands several times, until the city is just one big graveyard. With a couple of Starbuckses. General Brunch begins Operation Maple Leaf to take Caracas and Ottawa. The operation is a success, and Brunch carries on into Tirana. With the fall of Tirana, the plains of Leeds are secured under Radosian command. In response to this threat, the East mobilizes their deep reserves, moving forces out of Nicosia and Detroit. Bulgaria retakes Tirana and takes Ottawa for themselves this time. war has lasted over 2 years. The plains of Leeds are once again under Allied control. Now the entire region is a graveyard, with only 2 Starbuckses, and not even the real ones. They're like the kind that just get shoved into bookstores and hotels, and like they'll say, "We proudly brew Starbucks coffee," but you know, you can't even use like Starbucks gift cards here. Like you'll get The big unit campaign begins. Rather than building units by clumping multiple smaller units together, only units that have been sitting in cities long enough to become tank units are used. After months of messy fighting and scrapping across the plains of Leeds, the area is retaken by the Redosians. Even the Starbuckses are gone now, and the layer of corpses covering the ground is so thick that it's safe to walk on them again without setting off a mine. Probably. Rhodesia and Bulgaria sign a peace pact to make the Rhodesian invasion of Greenland a little easier. After almost 3 years of constant service without leave, some soldiers are granted a furlough. Captain Beanbag goes to visit his sister in Belgrade. Captain Creamer, not understanding the conditions of the pact, trespasses into Rhodesian territory because he hears there's a Starbucks still open near Tirana. News that the pact has ended takes a day to reach New York, and before that time the Greenlanders declare war on the Bulgarians for signing a deal with the enemy. Captain Beanbag and his forces are slaughtered just outside Belgrade. After this momentary misunderstanding, the Bulgarians and Greenlanders agree to a military alliance once again. And, out of outrage at the whole thing, the Greenlanders build another boat. This is hard mode, so there are no more pacts. The Red Army continues to focus on Greenland anyway, and on day 1032 finally reaches the gates of New York. Although they are resistant at first, once the Greenlanders learn the song and dance associated with the Get Involved campaign, they are on board, and an armored brigade marches north. The New York Armored Brigade reaches Yamoussoukro and takes the city. After 3 long, bloody years, the War of 1918 has ended.